Welcome to the Bamboo Project. If you don't already know, my name is Donovan Gray. I know a lot of people out there right now want to start Turo, and the most important thing when starting Turo is knowing which car to put on the app. So a few weeks ago, we put up a video about how we researched and found our first car to list in our market. And in that video, I said, if you want me to do your city, then either comment or DM me and I will do your city. Shout out to all of our subscribers in Houston, Texas. This video is for RC Prince 16. So I'm going to show you what we did to find our car, our first car in our market. Okay, so step number one is to know how much money you want to make on Turo. Okay, so what I like to do for these videos is use the median income of that particular city. The median income in 2019 for Houston, Texas was $29,259. So, all right, so that tells me that I have to make $2,400 a month to be able to hit my desired amount for the car. Now that I have that, step number two is to go to the Turo website. You obviously will put in your city that you're looking at. So I'll put in Houston. After I put in the city, then I will go and change the date. Now, I put the date about a few months out into the future. The reason why I do that is because you're more likely to have people booking cars closer to the time you're looking at the cars online. Right now, today is December 7th, right? Christmas is coming up at the end of the year, so is New Year's. So I don't really want to look for cars at around this time because trying to do my research, a lot of cars are not going to be showing up on the app or on the website, right? So I put it out into the future. So right now I have April 4th to April 8th. I also do not put one day when I put out into the future. The reason for that is because some people will have restrictions on their vehicles of only being able to be booked for one day. So, or not being able to be booked for one day. So going out to the future, you won't see that. Now, another thing too, I learned this in my last video, which I'm going to do right now. If you are under 30, certain cars will not come up. So because of that, I have signed out of my account because I am 27 and I will not be able to see all of the cars. So depending on your age, you might have to sign out. If you're over 30, you should be fine. But that's, like I said, if you have one day on your future date, cars won't come up. If you have your age is below 30, cars may not come up. So the reason why you want cars to come up is because you want to be able to see as many cars as possible to get the most accurate research or information on what you're looking at. Step number three is to figure out where you want to list your car. Now, I don't really know the geography of Houston, Texas. So what I'm going to do is I am going to look it up on Google Maps. Okay, so Houston is fairly large. There's a Holocaust museum in Houston. Why is it in Houston? That's crazy. And honestly, I've never seen these big things. That's kind of crazy. But okay, all this is Houston. That's actually good because I hate when they have little sections like whatever this is. This is obviously not Houston. I don't know why it's not Houston, but you know, according to Google Maps, it's not Houston. All right, so this is going to be our area that we're looking at. So for us, when we listed our car, we wanted to put it where we knew that people who are coming into the city, whether it be tourists or people from New York, are coming over. It's easier for them to get to the car. So I don't really know how Houston is set up. So let's say that there's a big bus depot, right? You may want to put the car near there. Obviously, you may want to put it near an airport. I don't really like putting it next to, all of the other cars for the simple reason that if somebody comes to look for cars, my car is not going to come up at the top, especially if I'm new. So I want to put my car close to it. Like, I don't want to put it all the way up here where nobody can come get to it, but I also don't want to put it right in the middle where all the other cars are. So maybe somewhere like over here, something like over here. And then I would also put it next to a train station or, a bus stop. So I know, as soon as you go to the bus, boom, my car is right there. That's how I would do it. So just looking at this, like I said, I don't really know this area. I would probably look at over here. There's a lot of hotels. There's a train station right here. So maybe I will probably put my car right over here. What does this look like? Something Ward. Yeah, I know what this is. Right up in this area. I'll probably put the car there. Why? Because it's near the train station and a lot of cars are not piled up in that area. Okay, so step number 4 is to write down how many cars there are of each brand. So how you do that is you click more filters, then you will go to vehicle makes, and then you go down the list. So we have AM General, there's 0, you have Acura, there are 11, and then you have Alfa Romeo, there are 15. That's actually a lot more than I've seen any other place. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll be right back as soon as I'm finished with that. Now, also before I go, another method to look at when looking for the best car is you go to vehicle types, right? Vehicle types. Now you can click each one independently. So you click cars, there are 200 plus cars. Okay. Click SUVs, there are 200 plus SUVs. Okay. You go to minivans, there are 9 minivans in all of Houston, Texas. That's kind of crazy. Oh, that admit, yeah. Then you go to trucks, there are 42 trucks. Okay. And then you go to vans, there are 12 vans. So the reason why I look at this is because it lets you know what is the most oversaturated type of car that's here. It seems like it's the cars and the SUVs. If you get a minivan, a truck, or a van, you're probably less likely to have to deal with a lot of competition because there are only 40 minivans, I think 9 trucks, and maybe 11 vans. I think that's what it said. All right, so now I'm going to write down how many cars there are of each brand. All right, so now I'm finished. And if you've been here before, you know I like to play a little game where I say, okay, I want you to guess the top 3 brands that come up on the list. All right, numbers 1, 2, and 3. I give you 15 seconds, you guess, and then I'll tell you which brands come in at numbers 1, 2, and 3. Go. All right, coming in at number 3 with 105 cars, we have the Chevrolet. Okay, now coming in at number 2 with 127 cars, we have the BMW. And then coming in at number 1 with 166 cars, we have the Mercedes-Benz. Right, so now that we know which cars coming at number 1, 2, and 3, that's the cars that I know I am not going to get, especially as a first timer. I am not getting any of those cars. Why? Because it's oversaturated. I don't want to have to compete with bigger players in the market. I would rather start out where I can find a gap, fill the gap, and then make some money in that gap and get my footing straight. So now that we've done that, the next part of this step is to go through the listings, or to go through the list that you made, and you want to find the brands that fall in the middle. Okay, so we know the highest is 166, the lowest is obviously going to be 0. So I would want to get a car that is somewhere between, I say, 30 and 40. The reason why that is because that shows me that people are buying these cars as host, and people are also renting these cars because there are several of them. If there was only 2 minis and they weren't getting any bookings, people probably wouldn't keep renting them. But you look at a car, there's 30 of them, like, okay, it's not oversaturated. People are booking them and people are still using them as a host. So for me, I'm going in this particular city 30 to 40. I'm actually going to do 25 to 40. That's what I'm going to do for this range. Because right now I only have 3, which is fine, but I'm going to do 25 to 30 for the video. Okay, so I did 25 to 40. So I have the Audi, the Cadillac, the Kia, the Land Rover, the Lexus, and the Volkswagen. Okay, those are the cars and brands I'm going to be looking at. Now, the next step is to divide how much you want to make by 15, and that is your daily rate. Okay, and then you divide that number by 75%. So I'm going to break down why that is. You see these numbers over here. Okay, your take-home rate is how much you have to make every single day for you to hit your desired profit that you came up with earlier in the video. Okay, you have to make, in this case, $162.55 every day for 15 days to be able to hit your desired profit. The reason why I chose 15 days is because I think that is a good starting point of how often your car will be rented each month. 15 days out the month is a good amount. Is average. It's not overzealous. You're not thinking 100%. but your car's also not booked out 0 times out the month. So it's like 15 is right in the middle. That's why I do 15 days. Now, you have your daily rate, which is how much you have to charge to hit your take-home rate. To get to the daily rate of how much you have to charge, you have to understand that Turo has 5 different insurance plans, okay? There's the 90%, 85%, 80%, 75%, and the 60%. The difference between each one is that is how much money you will get to keep from how much you charge for your car. I guess the downside you can say to that is the more money that you keep from your daily rate that you charge, the higher deductible is. For those who do not know what a deductible is, that is when your car gets into an accident. That is how much you have to pay out of your own pocket before Turo will cover any of the damages. So I was talking to someone yesterday. They had their car was hit by a deer on one of their rental trips, and it was about $10,000 in damage. So if you were on a 90% plan, their deductible is $2,500. So you have to pay $2,500 first before Turo will pay the extra money that's left over. Okay. Each plan has a different deductible, but you make less money. So if you're on the 60% plan, there's 0 deductible, but you're giving Turo 40% of every trip that you get. That's how you would figure out what your daily rate is. And then you can do this, right? Let's say you only want to get one car. That means you have to charge $217 a day for your car, right? Oh, excuse me. For your one car. And if you're on a 75% plan, then you can make your amount each month that you want to make in 15 days. Now, you're starting a business, so at some point you're going to want to up that. So you can do, let's say you're going 3 cars, right? You have to make at least $72 per car for you to be able to pay, what is it called? For you to be able to make the amount of money you want to make every single month. And that number does not account for financing, because people might buy the car differently. Maybe you buy your car in cash, maybe you get it financed, maybe somebody gives it to you for free. Who knows? This is not accounting for you financing the car. This is just if you have the car and you're making money on it. We'll get to the financing part later. So now step number 6 is to go back to the Turo website and research the listings. All right. So we're going to look at the cars or brands that we chose. The first one is the Audi. All right. So we have to make at least $72. We have 3 cars in this market. You know, I always think 4 to 5 is good, but let's just do 3 for now. We have to make at least $72. So you come up to the price at the top and you will change the meter to $70, right? So 8 people are not charging $70 for the Audi. Now, the reason why I do this is because it lets you know what you can expect the car to get. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say that I change this to 70, right? And the amount of results went from 30 to 4. That means that, yes, somebody or some people are charging $7 for the car, but it's going to be probably unlikely for me as a new person to just come in and charge that for the car. But if I put this up to 70 and only 2 or 3 cars come off, it goes, okay, this is the average amount people are charging for this car across the board. Okay, so the first thing I'm looking for when I scroll down here is what year do I see comes up a lot, and also what cars come up a lot, and also what type of car. So the first thing I see here is that these cars are fairly new. That's not always a good thing, because you don't want to have to be buying a brand new Audi S7 for your first car. Nice picture though, really high. What is this? Sharp. They made it really sharp, but you know, that's cool. At least they tried. Okay, so let's see what we see the most. I see a lot of Q7s. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 Q7s. Okay. Also, what I'm looking for is to see which cars are getting a lot of bookings. You can see that here where it says trips. So we have a Q7 2018 has 23 trips. Another Q7 2017 with 26 trips. This one has 26 trips. This one has 5 trips. This one has 8 trips. So it seems like I would get the Q7 because they are people. There are a couple of them, and they all have their own bookings. That's the first, just a general look at what I'm seeing here. Yeah, the Audi seems to be doing pretty well. The A4 has 57 trips, and they're charging $300. That's crazy. Okay. So I think the Audi is a good look from what I'm seeing so far. The thing I also see with the Audi is that you're gonna have to get a newer model. So we're talking probably like 2017 and up, and honestly probably 2018 because we're about to go into 2022. The sedans are not doing bad either. You can get a sedan Audi, which would be, you know, like the S7 or the RS7 or something like that, or the A4, the A5. So now after you did the first little look over, the next thing you want to do is actually research or go a little bit deeper into each actual car. So we're looking at the Q7, right? So this one is from 2018. Let's look at the pictures first. Let's see how they doing with the pictures. These are not good pictures. So just like that, there's a gap right there. Boom. They charge $93 a day for this car. 316 trips. Okay. Now, the next thing you look at, you want to see, okay, are they charging this closer to the current date? The reason I like to look at this is because people may change the date or change the price that's further on to the future because they feel like, oh, okay, you know, if anybody wants to book my car 3 months in advance, they're gonna pay more. Some people do that. So let's look and see what we have for December. It's still pretty on par. $90, $94, $100. That's good. Okay. Not a fan of the description because it's too wordy for me, and there's no spaces or no lines or nothing. Okay, so now that I've done that, I want to see when was the last time that this car was reviewed. September 27th is a very long time ago. That's very long. Okay, so that's not a good sign for me. You always want to take into account the weather and things like that because it could be seasonal. So I also want to look at when was their first review. Okay, this is actually good. So from June 28th was their first review until September 27th or up until now, today, this car has 23 trips. So from June until December, that's 23 trips. So you got June, July, August, September, October, November, December. In 7 months, they have 23 trips. So we're looking at about almost 3 trips a month. That's not bad. Let's say each trip is three days, 4 days. You're close to 15 days out the month right there. That's not bad. I mean, it hasn't been reviewed recently. So honestly, all we can go off of is what we have. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Also like to see how many other cars they have. You click on their name. He has 4 cars. He has 2 Audis, a BMW, a Land Rover, and the Audi. Okay. Okay. I'm not a fan of the pictures, but whatever. All right, let's look at the Audi S7 just to see what they're doing. $150 a day. But it's a 2020. That's new. Super sharp pictures. These are nice. I like the pictures. At least they try. Shout out to Danielle. She joined in May. So from May of this year to now, this car has 38 trips. That's a lot of trips. Now let's check to see. Okay, she's still charging 150, 98, 100, 150, 120. So this car, okay, that's not bad. Let's look and see how many cars she has. She has 4 cars. She has some real heavy hitters on here. A Corvette, a Suburban, a Maserati, and the S7. She getting money. The last review was November 26th. That's good. She had 3 trips in November, or 5 reviews in November. 1, that's great. And 150 for the car too, and it comes up number 1. The reason why that's crazy to me is because Turo usually pushes the cars that are inexpensive to the top of the list. So that's kind of crazy. Let's see what other Q7s we have on here. Another woman, Ashley. After Atlanta, I'm surprised how many women I saw who do Turo. That's like the first. So maybe it's a Southern thing. Who knows? She has some one. Okay. Shout out to Ashley W. So she joined in May of this year and she has 71 trips. Let's see when the last review was. October 27th. So that's 2 times I saw the Q7 was not rented, and from October to now. Let's look at the next one. This is from 2018. The last review was November 30th. That's great for $95. Let's look at this one for $160. 2000. We found our first power host. Found them. Now, what I like to do when I find a power host is I like to see what cars they have multiples of, because that lets me know like, hey, this guy has 1,000+ trips. That's what a power host is. Why would this person buy 3 or 4 of the same cars? Probably because he's seen that this car is doing pretty well, right? That's how I look at it. So, and this car's been booked recently. So I think after going through this, I think the Q7 is pretty good, and he charges $160 for it. So let's see how he's doing right now. Right now he's charging $85. So see, that's a big drop off. So he normally charges about $85. So I think this car, and it's 2017, I think this car can do like 110, 120 depending on what year you get, but I comfortably would say 110 depending on the year. Now that I found a power host, let's see what cars that he has. Okay, he probably has a lot of cars. See, now another thing I like to do is I will take this about section, copy it, and I will put it on my page. As a beginner, just gonna take that and put that in my notes. So now that I put that in my notes, like I said, now I can see, okay, I'm gonna use this for my listing, and then I'll change it depending on my city or what is closer to me or how I talk. But I do, his response time is 0 minutes. That's amazing. That is phenomenal. All right, so let's look at this guy's listing. Good pictures, great pictures, great opening pictures. How many cars does he have? Does he have a lot? He doesn't have that many. He has a good amount, but I've seen somebody with 88. I've seen some people with like 40 and 50. So he has about 28 cars. Some really expensive cars too. So he has 2 Mazda MX-5s. That lets you know that might want to get one of those. He has one Audi Q7. So from what I see here, I think his most common car, I would say, is probably the BMW. It's not a lot of them. The smaller BMW. And this Mazda MX M5, which I have seen recently. The BMW 3 Series 2016 has the most trips, and the Honda Accord and the Mercedes-Benz, these all have a crazy amount of trips. But I do not see like a lot of like the same cars, which is, you know, fine. He has Alfa Romeo. He has 2 Alfa Romeos, 3 Alfa. See, there you go. Alfa Romeo is probably the car, and they all getting booked. Look at that. Yep, right there. Boom. Get you Alfa Romeo. It's a 2021. This one has 56 trips. This one has 42 trips. What's another one? This one has 91 trips. Listen, bro, he's telling you right there. Look at that. That lets you know, get you Alfa Romeo if you can afford that. That's obviously the car out here in Texas. All right, so now we're on to the next listing, Cadillac. Oh, let me put it back to 0. Let's see what cars. That doesn't really matter. Only 8 more came up. So let's go and change the price to our desired price. We're at $70. Okay, we didn't lose a lot of cars. That's good. Escalade, XT, Escalade, XT, Cadillac. Okay, Escalade. All right, so let's see where the most trips are. Obviously, you can see it's the Escalade. A lot of Escalades, charging a lot. They're expensive to get, but they charge a lot. People are paying for it. It's a lot of Escalades. It's a lot of those, honestly. Let's see how far. Now, also, what you want to look at and see is how far apart are these cars, right? You can look and see where people are listing their cars. I should have did that with the power host. So this car is here in this area. I don't know. That's not a Cadillac. This one's up here in the north. This one right here is in that center city area. Who has a lot of trips? This one has 19 trips. Where's his car at? Okay, his car is all the way over here in this area. Okay, right in the middle. Okay, this person right here, $260 a day, right in the middle of this place. Okay, so yeah, people seem to be booking cars in this area. That's good. Yeah, look at that. See, you don't have to be right in the middle. You don't have to be right there. And honestly, the closer you are here, you're probably gonna have to lower your price to compete with everybody else. There are a lot of Cadillacs on here, but they don't have a lot of trips, so I necessarily wouldn't get that as a first car, and it's expensive. XT5. I would get one of these, the XTs. Yeah, I would get an XT if I was gonna get a Cadillac as my first car. All right, so we got $83, $61. That's tough. 86. Oh wow, look at this. XT6, 119 a day. All right, Abdul, 719 trips. That's good. That's good. How many cars did this person have? Not a power host, but has a lot of cars. I just want to see how recent it was reviewed. Okay, November 22nd. Okay, that's good. All right, so that's the car we'll get. And where he listed it at? Over here in Washington Avenue Coalition Memorial Park, not right in the middle of the city. So you don't have to put your car where everybody else's car is. Remember that. So I'm right. I already wrote that down. So I think for that car, you can probably get $85 for that. Next is the Kia. Okay, so good amount of Kias. See, let's change this price to 70 from 35 to 3. So no Kias for us. Next, the Land Rover. Okay, good. This is good. All right, you got the Land 2018, 2011. These all got trips. This might be the top car to get. Never mind. Never mind. Well, nah. There's a lot of them that don't have trips. There's a lot of, yeah. I probably wouldn't get this car. There's a lot of them. Yeah, who owns this car? This blue Range Rover. George, again. Who owns this one? 60 trips. Sheesh. The last review is November 27th. Yeah, like I said, as a first car, I probably wouldn't get this because there's a lot of them. I think this is a good add-on to your cars. As a first, I would not get this one. And then, so oddly enough, it seems like they're all over here, which is kind of strange. Like, why are they all past this area? Is it like a rich area in Houston? Because that's kind of crazy. $200 a day. He only has 57 trips. That's crazy. Yeah, this car's getting booked. So, like I said, because it's expensive, I would not go with this as a first car. But if you already have Turo and you're doing it, I would definitely suggest getting like a 2018 Range Rover, 2019 Range Rover. Which one looks to be doing the best? Maybe the Sport. Yeah, I guess probably the Sport. I'll probably do a Sport. What year is this? This is 2015. That's old as hell. So yeah, for this, I wouldn't get it because it's not, as a first, it's going to be expensive to buy that and maintain and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna skip past that one and then on to the Lexus. It went from 27 to 15. So let's see what kinds are coming up. There aren't a lot of trips here for me. For each, the GX is doing well. So maybe the bigger ones, probably. Yeah, this is not, I wouldn't pick this one. $109 a day, 148. It's both the same car too. And one is charging 100 and one's charging 150. Yep, this is the guy. He's listen, obviously killing it. All right, so it's all about the pictures. So the GX, I would also not go with the GX. Because, I mean, again, maybe. Let me see when did this person get this car? Her last review was November 22nd. So, honestly, she got this car probably in November, and she already has 3 trips. That's not bad. So, yeah, I think I would throw this on there. I would throw a Lexus GX. But now, let's see. Put this back down to 0 and see how many GXs come up. Are you really getting that price for all of them? Yeah, so, yep. I'll go with that. I think you could do a Lexus GX. Let me write that down. Okay, last we have the Volkswagen. 26 Volkswagens. Ooh, $29 car. That's crazy. All right, let's put this to 70. And let's see what we get. 2. So, there you go. Not doing a Volkswagen. All right. We have 4 cars. We have the Audi Q7, the Alfa Romeo, the Cadillac XT, and the Lexus GX. So, I like to use Carvana to see what the price of the car would possibly be. The reason why is because they also give you a price for financing. All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the Audi Q7. This is not bad. Okay, this is not that bad. A 2017 would probably be the best one to get. I don't think your car has to be new for this. So 2017 will be fine. So let's go with the first one. We're going to do a 2017 Audi Q7 with 80,000 miles, right? I don't care about the miles because it's a rental. Maybe going to sell it. Who knows? We're doing $1,000 cash down, $638 a month, right? So let's see down here. We're doing $638 a month for this. And the people who had a Q7 were charging about $110 a day. That's good. All right. So here's what you have. On a 75% plan with your car being booked out 15 days out the month with insurance at $100, you are making profit in your pocket $500 a month, right? That's if you are on the 75% plan. That means your car is already paid for in full and you have an additional $500. If you're on a 90% plan, you're making almost $800. That's if your car is booked 15 days. Now here you have 21 days and here you have 30 days. If your car is booked for 21 days, you made $1,000 just like that. Boom. On a 75% plan. If you on the 80, let's say you got lucky, you say, you know what, I'm gonna do 85% this week. It goes up and you get the car booked. You just made $1,200 and your car note's paid off. This is after you paid off your car note. So, and obviously again, that's not taking into account gas and, little miscellaneous items. This is just bare bottom bones numbers. So that's not bad. I think that is a good car for a beginner to get. The Audi, if you could get this, the 2017 Audi Q7 or any type of Q7 from 2017 going forward, that is what I would personally get. I like that a lot. I like that. Okay, next is the Alfa Romeo. Okay, these cars are not expensive. All right, this is good. You can get a 2018 Alfa Romeo. I would honestly go with a newer year. Go with the newer. Let me see. His was, I didn't write the year down. Let's see what the newest year costs. All right, you can get a 2019 Alfa Romeo for $33,000. See, I wouldn't, because that car note is high, so I wouldn't necessarily get that one because that car note is pretty high. I would get the 2018 right here, Alfa Romeo. That's what I would go with. So I might go with this. Let's say I get it for, it looks about $600 is what they cost. So we're looking at about $600. And then the guy was charging about, let's say $75 for the car. This is not a really good car, it seems like. I want to check his thing again because what was he charging for his car? Oh, they charge $132 for their car? God damn. That's crazy. So what's the average price for these cars then? These prices are pretty high. $172 for the Jesus. Oh, these cars are getting money for these. I don't know why I said 75. Yeah, you could definitely make some money with this one for sure. I think on average you're doing like 100, maybe 115. Shit. He charges $145 a day for this. What's he charging today though? If I want to get the car for this month, what are we looking at for price? Yeah, $83. That's what I thought. It's not that crazy number. It went up though. I think you could do $100 for this car. 100 to maybe 105 comfortably. You can always increase or decrease depending on the time of the year. But I think $100 for this. That's good for a beginner car. I would also go with the Alfa Romeo. Here are the numbers for the 21 days a month. And here are the numbers for the 30 days a month. And the car is probably not, it's going to be a lot cheaper than the other car, than the Audi. So that's not a bad look. Now the Cadillac XT. Oh, shit. The lowest price? This is the lowest price one? It's a 2020? Shit. Nah, y'all wildin'. That's crazy. Nah, that's too much for me, my guy. And they were only making how much? $85 a day? Nah. They don't have no older models? What's the oldest? Why everything brand new? Oh, you know what it is? I put XT6. That's probably why. All right, so we got, okay, this is not bad. They're charging $85 a day. This is another solid car. This is solid. This is a solid car. The 2018 Cadillac ST, similar to our Equinox that we got. And you're looking at about $550 a month for a 2018. Let's say you want to go up a little higher to a 2019. Well, how much you got to pay? It's about the same. You can get a Cadillac XT4 for $5. That's what I'm going with. $595 a month. I'm going with $550 because the other ones were $550. We're looking at how much per month for that? You're looking at about $85 for this car. You know, there you go, $300 if the car's booked. That now again, y'all are buying more than one car, so you made $300 off one car. The other car made $500. You had $800. The other car you had made another $400. You were at $1,200. Another car you had made what? I don't know, another $400, $500 profit. You know, that's not bad. Like I said, but you're gonna have to make. The goal is to get to your desired profit per month number. And this is why I said it does not take into account financing, because financing is going to take a chunk out of your money, like a large chunk. But if you own the car outright, that money's all yours. So now we're at the last one, the Lexus GX. Yeah, these are expensive. So I wouldn't go with the Lexus GX there as a first car. I wouldn't go with this one because you got to pay a lot down for it. Me personally, I want to be able to make that money back that I spent on the car, like in the first 2 months. I don't want to have to put $17,000 down for the car and I don't make that money back until freaking the end of the year. Like, I guess if I sell a car before that, but I don't want to deal with that. So that's why I choose to get cars that the down payment is not too crazy, especially if I can't make that money back in 2 or 3 months. So that's how I look at it. Now a little bonus tip before I wrap this video up. This is something I call the undersaturated method, okay? So you would go down to these cars that have like 12, 15, 17, like the small numbers, right? Because you may find a gap in there somewhere, all right? Let's look at the Alfa Romeo was a gap that we wouldn't have even seen before. But let's look at I'm going to do the Infinity. Let's see what the Infinity is doing. That's going to be the bonus round as the undersaturated method. Okay, they're not charging a lot. This one is charging pretty well. This looks like Tahoe. What's his name? Tahua? Yeah, yep. So he's doing pretty well. Yeah. So, like I said, you never know. The QX60 is doing pretty well. This one has no reviews though, but this one has 4. So, you know, there you go. That you can do and look through the smaller ones for yourself to see, you know, maybe there's a gap. I think that would be more so for people who have more cars and you want to, you know, add a little extra dollar to your bottom line. But with that being said, Bamboo Project out.